Hello everybody, welcome to the very first dev update of this FireRed Kaizo thing that I'm doing. Yes, it has been a lot. I kind of rushed this part to be able to get the video out, but it of course it has a few tweaks that I still need to finish, but apart from that, pretty much everything from the beginning to Brock has been completed, and you'll see in the video. I will also go much deeper. I'll do 3 tries, 3 runs, 3 attempts. Synonyms, yes. To see how well everything goes. And I'm not expecting to beat it on the first try, which is why I do 3. Yeah, no. So we're gonna pick Squirtle because basically all of the 3 stars have been changed. Their abilities have been changed. For example, Squirtle gets battle armor or shell armor. They're basically the same thing. Bulbasaur gets thick fat, and the Charmander line gets flash fire. Flash fire is the only one that I'm a bit meh about, but it's honestly fine. Now what I'm gonna do is pretty much go through that first round we just saw. I'm gonna tell you the encounter changes. Basically, in Route 1 you get a Pidgey, Rattata, Spearow, Hoot Hoot, Sentret, Smoochum, Elekid, Magby, Meowth, Snubbull, Charmander, and Dratini. In Pallet Town you get an Eevee, pretty much Eevee, the Johto starters, and the Gen 3 starters. I'm not going to go 1 through 1 of all of the changes that I've done. I'm sure you'll see some in the video. So in Route 22 we can get a Doduo, Hoppip, Wooper, Sunkern, Nidorands, Mankey, Totodile, Houndour, Vulpix, Cubone, and Larvitar. So after completing the tutorial we can also go to Route 2, which has a chance for you to get an Oddish, Venonat, Paras, Bellsprout, Execute, Mareep, Teddiursa, Marill, Sandshrew, Pichu, Tyrogue, and Cyndaquil. So overall, some decent changes, nothing that breaks the game completely, at least I don't think. And then last but not least, right before Brock we get the Viridian Forest, and the encounters being Caterpie, Weedle, Leddyba, Spinarak, Poliwhirl, Ghastly, Pineco, Sudowoodo, Ekans, Aipom, Chikorita, and Bulbasaur. So yeah, I will say giving a lot of starters is kind of iffy, I think. They are on the rarer side, so you have to be pretty lucky for you to actually get them. And I don't want to make the early game insanely unforgiving, you know? So that's kind of why I've done that. So pretty much now that we do catch this Totodile, we have a pretty decent team. So yeah, the team is pretty good. The only outstanding thing is that Beedrill has pure power. Apart from that, pretty much everything is the same. So yeah, this Bulbasaur team has a Nidoran male, an Elekid, a Larvitar, Houndour, Totodile, and of course the Bulbasaur. In every single one of his teams, he will have the Fire, Water, Grass core, while the other Pokemon will be different. So, against and then his Squirtle team is the 3 Pokemon, and then Execute, Cyndaquil, and of course Squirtle, while on the Fire type team, he has a Poliwag, Chikorita, and Charmander. So overall, some pretty decent Pokemon. I'd say realistically the hardest one to beat. Of course it depends on your encounters, but I think the strongest one is probably the grass one or the fire one. The fire one has Poliwag for Hypnosis, which is kind of annoying, while Bulbasaur does have Vine Whip and Leech Seed, which are some pretty good moves early on. The Execute one, it does have Reflect, Uproar, Hypnosis, and Barrage, but I feel like unless the AI plays out of its mind, it's not really gonna be that big of a threat. At least in the ones that I've done, it's never really been that big of a threat. So, yeah, we did. I'd say it's not a completely easy fight. It's not a free fight, of course, but it's also not like, oh, I'm gonna lose my marbles or whatever I'm trying to say at the moment. Not really sure. Doduo is surprisingly strong this early. I think deceptively strong, because like when I see his stats, I'm not really feeling it, but then whenever like I use him, it does some big damage. And then here comes the beatable with the pure power. It really doesn't look like much damage, so I think it's kind of lackluster just in general. Like, mind you, I didn't change its attack stat, so it's still 80. Anyways, now with that, we're gonna go into the Viridian Forest. Alrighty, so in the Viridian Forest, there's technically only one guaranteed trainer, I guess one forced one. I will be changing this in later iterations. The trainers are pretty easy, they're all bug catchers. There's only one that is kind of scary. Well, technically, there's a beatable one, the only one that's currently mandatory, bug catcher Sammy. While the other one that's, in my opinion, the scariest is Bugcatcher Anthony. That one I think I will always make optional rather than mandatory, because his team consists of Spinnerack, Heracross, and Shuckle. So due to the high BSC overall, I think it's fine. Anyways, so first is Bugcatcher Rick. He has a Spinnerack, Kakuna, Butterfree, and Ladybug. Yes, Butterfree now, the Caterpie line does end up learning Leech Seed, so it's a big buff, I will say. It's kind of strong. I also changed it from a Bug Flying to a Bug Psychic. Then Bugcatcher Doug has a Venonat, Paras, Spinnerack. And then Bugcatcher Charlie has a Pineco, Kakuna, Ladybug. And then the one we're about to fight is indeed Bugcatcher Sammy. Bugcatcher Sammy has a Metapod, Spinnerack, Pineco, and Beedrill. Beedrill is very scary because of the moves that it has. It has Pin Missile and Fury Attack. Yeah, I buffed it to be base 40 now, which is very strong for a multi-turn move. If it, is able to hit those. So that's why I think he's that scary, but then my Beedrill just doesn't vibe with it. Also, another thing that another change that happened is now Pineco is now part rock type, and it has the ability Rough Skin. Spinnerack is Bug Dark, and it has the Shadow Tag ability. So that's why I'm not really switching out. And the reason why Squirtle dies. It's an interesting ability to have this early on, but I don't particularly mind it. Here we get really lucky against the Beedrill, so it's a very clean, well, not clean because we lose Squirtle, but overall decent stuff. Now the only thing left for this run is, beat Brock. And the level cap is indeed level 15. The team for Brock, I'm not completely sold on it. I'm also going to make the part where I'm walking to avoid that trainer unable to be walked, so you are forced to fight the guy. So yeah, Brock, I'm not completely sold on it. It has Corsola, Ammonite, Kabuto, Sudowoodo, Onix, and Graveler. So yeah, no, I'm not really sold on it because half of the team is rock water. Sudowoodo, I did change it to be rock fighting, and it also has water absorb as an ability. I would have preferred it to be Sap Sipper, but I'm not that I'm not that comfortable when it comes to changing that much, like abilities, and like I have to go in to add the ability myself, which is why I'm making it so it's water absorbed. That's kind of another reason why I don't particularly like his team, because it would kind of force people to need to have a grass type, because I think Bulbasaur would one-shot the... I don't know about one-shotting, but at least doing a lot of damage to the Corsola, one-shotting the Ammonite, one-shotting the Kabuto, one-shotting the Onix, one-shotting the Graveler, and the only one that would be a real threat would be Sudowoodo. So I think that's why I'm not completely sold on it. I also did a lot of changes when it comes to who's a rock type, who's a ground type. So this is why I'm starting to think like, oh, maybe I should make the gyms to be like themed. So maybe Brock's theme is about total defense rather than rocks. So I think maybe that way it allows more diversity within the teams. I'm still not completely sure about it. If you've made it this far into the video and has heard this, please let me know what you think. It would make I think I don't know if I'm completely sold on that idea as well, because then I would also have to either make up themes for others, or just maybe one of them has it, like maybe some gym leaders have it while others don't. That's why I don't know. I'm very much unsure of this. I am basically doing this alone, so I don't know. Yeah, so we lose this. Spoiler alert. Alright, so now 2 more runs to go. The one in the left, wait, is it left or right? I don't remember. Anyways, so I was also thinking one other thing that I could do is that instead of maybe themed, it's like multiple typing, because like maybe Brock could be the gym for ground and rock. Lieutenant Misty can be water, and actually water works perfectly for her. Maybe his Brock's theme could be earth. For Lieutenant Surge could be, I don't know, lightning, and I don't know, man. I don't know. I was thinking for Brock, maybe we could do a double typing for him. Feel like maybe that could be another way to make his team more diverse and not as, like, yes, technically both grass and water are gonna be more, like, they're gonna technically be stronger against them, but I think maybe in the long run it might be better. Anyways, so the team in the left is the one that loses against the rival, even though I was... Oh wait, no, the one in the right loses to the rival. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I was actually quite confident about the team on the right. It had overall, well, I did have two grass types and 2 fire types, and then Weedle and Spearow. Spearow is pure flying type. But yes, as I was saying, the reason we actually lose is because of Charmander's Flash Fire ability, which now, as like when I was like playing against it, I was like, okay, this is actually, I'm kind of more okay with the ability. So there's that. The team on the left does all right. Sandshrew, mainly because of Sandshrew. Sandshrew is a ground steel type, which is insane early on. Like, yes, it gets destroyed by the Charmander, but it's pretty good. It allows me to 1v1 him when I start at 8 HP against the Elekid. So yeah, we just go downhill from that. We get unlucky with the wake up with the Eevee, so you know, it is what it is. Luck just wasn't on our side. And then the one on the right, I was like, oh, roar, I forgot about that. And then against the Poliwag, we do beat it, mainly because we were lucky with I thought of sacking Execute as a way to maybe get through with it, but Execute actually wins against the Poliwag, so that's pretty cool. Anyways, yeah, as you can see, the one on the left cleared it. It was good. It was chill, you know. We did lose one mon. Don't ask me which one it was, because I'm trying to keep up with 2 different screens at the same time, and my small brain is not letting me do that. Anyway, so the one on the right loses, and we lose Eevee as well, and Spearow. So yeah, no, this trainer actually did a lot of damage to us, team composition wise. I still thought we could do it. We had Bulbasaur, which is grass, which is very, very good. We did have a steel type, which I was like, alright. Just as long as we don't mess up against the Spinarak, we'll be fine, but that is very much our downfall. So yeah, no, it's very much our downfall. So we just against the Bulbasaur Metapod, we just Leech Seed, and then I think I should have just switched at the very end before the Metapod died because into the Sandshrew, because then we would have just defense curled. The Spinarak would have done absolutely nothing to us, and we would have had the Bulbasaur alive and much healthier. And against the Pineco, Leech Seed plus Curse would have been clean. Also Sandshrew just absolutely balled on him. And then against the Beedrill, we're able to, like, we beat him. Like, we don't lose against them, we lose against Brock in this run. But if I would have done that one thing, I actually would have had a chance on beating Brock in this run. I just had nothing that was super effective against it. Like, I tried Hypnosis Curse, but then I was like, well, I don't have a way to heal or anything. So I only can really beat one Pokemon realistically. And then they started Bubble Beaming, so I was like, alright, well, GG, it is what it is. So yeah, that was that. Please let me know feedback. It's much appreciated. I think what I can also do is just maybe a segment. Maybe I can make a video about, because I had this video idea of making, like, changing Pokemon typing, because I was doing this a bit like a month or two earlier ago, about changing the types, and then every single type that I would make, every type change that I would make would be correlated to this FireRed Kaizo, which would make it kind of easier for people to if they just want to see the differences. I can also do that. I think I might do that. Then there's the other thing about the stat changes that I did. I'm not really gonna get too into it because the video's getting kind of long. So yeah. Again, feedback much appreciated, and thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll see you next month.